Imagine standing in a room with a man who feels no fear, no guilt, no empathy. He looks just like you, smiles like you, speaks with calm confidence. But behind those eyes lies nothing. No remorse, no humanity, just an endless void. We grow up believing monsters hide in shadows, in prisons, on battlefields, in the dark corners of broken societies. But the truth is far more unsettling. Some monsters wear suits. They sit in meetings. They shake your hand, look you in the eye, and feel absolutely nothing. Thinking with Psychopaths and Savages by Dominic Cass isn't just a book, it's an invitation into the cold, calculating world of the human predator. A journey that forces you to confront the darkest parts of the mind and ask yourself one terrifying question: where does sanity end and savagery begin? Dominic Cass is a researcher driven by a deep fascination with human behavior, morality, and the fragile boundary between good and evil. He doesn't just study the psychopath, he learns to think like one, not to glorify darkness, but to understand it. Through years of psychological research, observation, and real-world case studies, Cass unravels how psychopaths and predators think, feel, and manipulate. His work reveals the hidden mechanics of moral corruption and shows how ordinary people can use that knowledge to protect themselves, sharpen their awareness, and even harness a touch of cold logic to survive the chaos of modern life. Part 1. The Mind of a Psychopath. A psychopath is not insane. He's hypersane, in the wrong direction. That's how Cass begins, cutting through a huge misconception. Psychopathy isn't about violence or being crazy, it's about something much deeper. Emotional detachment, the absence of empathy, fear, and guilt. A psychopath doesn't feel sorry. He doesn't hesitate before doing something cruel. He doesn't worry about the consequences. He simply calculates, acts, and moves on. Cass gives some examples that hit close to home. A charming executive who smiles at everyone, yet ruins careers without a second thought. A lover who mimics affection, not because he feels it, but because it serves his goals. These people wear masks. They mirror emotions to fit in, but inside, they're empty. Cass calls it the empathy void, a black hole where conscience should be. So why are we drawn to them? Why does the idea of a psychopath fascinate us? Maybe it's envy. Deep down, we all secretly crave the freedom they seem to have. They don't care about opinions. They don't feel guilt. They act without hesitation, something most of us can only dream of. But here's the warning: admiration can be dangerous. You can learn from their focus and determination, but never from their heartlessness. In the end, psychopathy is not strength. It's a profound absence, an emptiness at the core of a person. And while it's fascinating to study, it's not something to imitate. Part 2. The Savage Within Us. Cass then turns his focus, no longer on them, but on us. Every human carries a savage within, he says. The difference is, some of us keep it caged. He shares stories of ordinary people who, in moments of fear, rage, or survival, commit acts that seem unimaginable. A friend betrayed, a soldier haunted by choices made in the fog of war, a parent acting with uncontrollable fury. In these stories, the line between the civilized man and the savage is thinner than we think. And the savage isn't only physical. It's emotional cruelty, calculated betrayal, and selfishness dressed as civility. From boardrooms to battlefields, these instincts still live in all of us, only hidden beneath social masks. We all carry darkness. The real test is how we control it, how we decide when to unleash it and when to restrain it. In a world full of manipulation and deceit, being too kind can make you prey. Cass argues that understanding psychopathy isn't about becoming cruel. It's about becoming strategically aware. You must learn the rules of the dark, he says, not to become the darkness, but to survive in the light. And in that moment, it's clear the savage isn't just in them, it's in all of us, and mastery lies in controlling it. Part 3. Lessons from the Psychopath. What if I told you that sometimes, to protect yourself from the wolves, you have to learn how the wolves think? But before you panic, let me be clear. This isn't about becoming cruel or heartless. It's about becoming unbreakable. Cass explores a fascinating idea, borrowing the mindset of a psychopath, not their cruelty, to strengthen your life. Shocking, maybe. Powerful? Absolutely, if used ethically. 1. Emotional control. Imagine standing in a room where everyone is panicking. Your heart races, your mind is clouded. Most people let fear decide for them. A psychopath? They stay calm, analyze, and make the move. Cass says, learning to control your emotions doesn't make you cold. It makes you precise. In life, your decisions are only as good as your mind is clear. 2. Fearlessness. Ever freeze when opportunity knocks? Fear keeps most people stuck, but those who succeed take bold action when others hesitate. Cass challenges you to embrace calculated courage. Fearlessness isn't about risking recklessly. It's about acting when it matters most. 3. Focus and clarity. Distractions are everywhere. Notifications, drama, noise. Psychopaths have an uncanny ability to zero in on the target. Cass teaches, learn to ignore what doesn't matter. Act with laser-like precision. That's how you win in the real world. 4. Charm and observation. Here's the twist. Understanding people deeply isn't manipulation if your goal is connection, not harm. Psychopaths read emotions like open books. It's a skill you can use ethically. Cass emphasizes, observe, understand, influence, but always with empathy. Without it, these tools are weapons. With it, their power. Cass isn't asking you to become heartless. He's asking you to become unbreakable, to stand strong in chaos, to act decisively, to understand people without losing your soul. Sometimes, to survive the world's challenges, you don't need to be a wolf. You just need to think like one, wisely, carefully, and with empathy. Learn the tools. Guard your heart. Become unbreakable. Part 4. The Collapse of Morality. The book plunges its readers into the shadowy corridors of moral decay, exposing the slow, almost imperceptible rot that gnaws at the foundations of society. Cass doesn't just theorize about corruption, he paints it in vivid, unsettling detail, from leaders whose ambition tramples conscience to lovers whose charm conceals ruthless manipulation. In his world, guilt is not just absent. It is a foreign concept, a relic that society has outgrown. And when empathy dies, Cass warns, humanity itself teeters on the edge of collapse. Through his exploration, we see a chilling pattern emerge. Modern society often seems to reward what he calls psychopathic behavior. The ambitious who feel nothing, the emotionally detached who manipulate effortlessly, the charming without sincerity. These are the ones who thrive. In such a world, masks are currency. Smiles may conceal cruelty, and polite words may hide betrayal. Truth becomes dangerous, suspicion becomes survival, and honesty is punished rather than praised. Cass's narrative doesn't just describe a dystopia, it makes us feel it. We walk through streets where ambition overshadows conscience, hear conversations where flattery is a weapon, and witness a civilization slowly forgetting that empathy once bound it together. His message is both simple and terrifying. If we allow compassion to vanish entirely, if we celebrate cunning without conscience, then civilization itself will unravel into savagery. In the end, the book is a mirror, one that forces readers to confront uncomfortable questions. How much empathy do we still possess? How easily can it be eroded? And if we lose it completely, what kind of world will we inherit? Cass's haunting vision lingers long after the last page is turned, a stark reminder that the moral heart of humanity is fragile, and once broken, there may be no return. Part 5. Awakening the Balanced Mind. In the final chapters, Cass offers a path forward, not one of destruction, but of integration. He reminds us that the goal is not to eliminate the savage within, but to understand it, to bring it into harmony with the rest of ourselves. Use the psychopath's logic for clarity, for seeing situations without distortion or fear. Use the savage's fire for courage, for the strength to face challenges that others shy away from. But let both be guided by the heart of empathy, the part of you that connects, understands, and chooses wisely. This is the delicate balance of the warrior of the mind, calm in the storm, strong in adversity, and self-aware enough to know the difference between righteous action and blind aggression. Cass challenges readers to look within, to confront their own darkness, and instead of fearing it, to master it. He warns that ignoring this inner work risks becoming the very thing we most dread. In the end, it is not about fighting the monsters outside. It is about ensuring that the monster inside never takes control, that we remain fully human, fully conscious, and fully compassionate. Monsters win when good men refuse to understand them. Dominic Cass, if you've ever been manipulated, betrayed, or left broken, don't let it harden you. Let it sharpen you. Let it make you brilliant. See the world as it is, not just as you wish it to be. Learn how they think, understand the shadows they hide in, and then rise, clear-eyed, unshakable, and unstoppable. Because the strongest light doesn't flee from darkness. It doesn't pretend the shadows aren't there. It learns to shine through them, illuminating the truth, cutting through deception, and forging strength from adversity. The human mind is a battlefield, but the most dangerous war is the one you never see coming. The war for control over your own thoughts. Master that, and no outside force can dominate you. If this journey into the human mind stirred something in you, subscribe for more psychological deep dives. Together we'll explore what drives people, uncover the hidden mechanics of influence, and teach you how to navigate life with clarity, courage, and unshakable self-mastery. Because the world will try to shape you, but you can choose to shape yourself first.